We all live in a watershed, which is a piece of land that drains into a waterway. In each watershed, we find people and animals that depend on the waterways and forests to survive. All the species that make up our watershed contribute to its biological diversity. This is the variety of life that lives in an area. There are three types of biodiversity. This includes species, ecosystem, and genetic. For this lesson, we're going to focus on species biodiversity and ecosystem biodiversity. Species diversity is the relative abundance of a species in an ecosystem. And ecosystem diversity is the variety of habitats within a specific region. Each tree or organism in general has a different function. And the combination of all the functions that an organism does is the ecosystem services that it provides. These can include providing food or shelter for organisms that live in the ecosystem. If multiple species in an ecosystem perform similar functions, this allows the ecosystem to adapt to change if a specific organism is removed or if a population is reduced. Monoculture is when a forest, for example, consists of only one species. By having a variety of species, an ecosystem can become stronger and more resistant to disease and disasters. And for this reason, a monoculture is not ideal for an ecosystem. When looking at our watershed, we want to see high biodiversity, many species. So today we're going to be looking at tree species biodiversity by examining the different leaves you find around your school to complete a fun craft. Step 1 is finding your leaf. Go outside by your school and find one leaf for each student to identify. Using the Tree Finder identification guide, find what tree species your leaf is from. From there, we're going to take our leaf and make a stained glass window. We're going to start with 2 pieces of construction paper. We're going to measure out a 1-inch border around all the edges, folding it and cutting out the inside portion to create 2 frames. Next, we're going to take wax paper and measure out the portion that we will need to fit within our frames. The wax paper is the glass in our window. These can be glued onto your borders. Next, take the confetti and glue that into your window, creating a pop of color that the sun will catch. Now, take the leaves that we collected and glue those into your stained glass window. Lastly, glue your top pane of your window, creating your masterpiece. Identify each leaf that you collected and write the species name below the leaf along the frame. And then as a class, connect your stained glass windows together to create one giant pane. And since we all live in a watershed, add your water in the center, and your window will represent the riparian buffer zone along your stream. We hope you enjoyed crafting with us today, and remember that everyone lives in a watershed and we can all do our part to take care of the forests and waterways that surround us. As a class, you could go out and clean the forests that surround your school, creating a healthier watershed.